Happy Canada Day to all my Canadian friends who celebrate. I hope you have a glorious Canada Day. Whatever you decide to do, shop, spend time with your family, get each other gifts. Speaking of gifts, I'm not really much of a gift giver, and I don't really have much of a budget, so I got you this. I got you this review. I hope you can spread it far and wide, just like herpes. It's like that couple I knew that got Valtrex, his and herpes. Nevertheless, I'm John Wright with my review of AEW Collision, live recorded a couple days earlier in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, for Owen, because there were 3 Owen Hart first round tournament matches, and I gotta be honest, guys, I think Collision's kind of settled into a groove where there's more wrestling and more serious stuff, but I'm a little bit worried about the state of this show going forward. There was a nice story arc, especially a hook at the end. CM Punk, and Samoa Joe going at it again next week. That's kind of cool. I don't know, the rest of the show ranged from to good at times, I guess. So anyway, we have pre-tapes of the Owen Hart men's tournament participants, which we've seen since the pay-per-view. Kevin Kelly and Nigel are a tremendous commentary team. I wonder who they're going to get to replace Kevin Kelly for a bit, because he's going to be calling the G1. Unless they got somebody else to do it, Kevin Kelly's going to be calling the G1. So we have MJF versus Kip Morst, and he won easily because Kip was just a local enhancement guy. And then, basically, MJF's just knocking to people like he always does. Says, you know what, I'll call out somebody from Hamilton. They have to be from Hamilton. Then this big old huge guy out of the Crusher Blackwell school of, I don't know who the guy is. I'm not knocking him. He actually kind of reminded me a bit of a bigger Crusher Blackwell. But Ethan Page says, no, I'm going to answer the call. Talks about his dad's job coming from Macedonia, which I didn't know. Proves his dad's a hard worker. He worked in factories. He was the president in numerous jobs. He worked really hard. He wanted Ethan Page to learn to aim high and not take shit from anybody. So he's not going to take shit from anybody. I'm not a bare minimum bitch talking about, MJF, who just coasts on his whole goddamn reputation. And, if the company needs somebody on short notice, they don't call you the champion, they call me. I didn't even go home to my family. I went and did PR for the Canadian tour. This is the most serious that I have seen Ethan Page in a while. You know what? This is fine. They're still going to have to really, really try hard to not make Ethan Page such a goof. That's been kind of the issue, because he's not bad in the ring, but just the way they presented him hasn't necessarily worked. He bleeds AEW, and he basically goes MJF into putting the title on the line, because MJF even said he put the title on the line before Ethan Page answered. And look, it was a lot of knee selling, because MJF kept chopping the knee. And Ethan can work. He did a good job selling here. He did. He got hit with an Alabama slam, got the single crab locked on. Did hit a nice snap-up slam. That was beautifully done. He had a top rope version of it. Kept selling the knee. There was a foot on the rope moment. Good back and forth. The dragon screw in the ropes. And then the heat seeker 1, 2, 3. Given that Ethan had the handicap, and he was selling the knee a lot, this made sense. It was well done. It was well done for what it was. And then we get Dustin versus Powerhouse Willa Hobbs. You could just hear Dusty saying that. And Owen Hart first round match. Look out. More tournament action. I like Dustin, and I'm glad he wants to go out there and still wrestle. And the idea was to put over Hobbs strong. Dustin bled. QT and Harley are not necessary to this equation. They're not necessary for the on-screen presentation of Hobbs or anybody, really. I'm sorry. A Vegas club is missing their waitress, and some computer tech company is missing their missing some CPA. He did hit the crossroads. Dustin did. He was bleeding quite a bit from a post spot. He had a pile driver for 2, a crossroads. Hobbs hit a spine buster just for 1. Dustin powered up, but then hit the snap slam. QT ended up hitting a punch. Referee's distracted. Spine buster again. 1, 2, 3. I know what they were trying to do, and I'm glad Hobbs got a win. This whole association with QT just isn't working. Miro then beat Anthony Henry. Anthony Henry actually isn't a bad worker at all, and he got in a few flurries, but got hit with game over. And speaking of game over, that was me with the next segment. Golden Club Showers, or whatever the hell they are. Jay White, Juice Robinson, who are a pretty good team, and the Guns. Enough Bullet Club. I'm done. I'm done with it. This is why I don't review as much New Japan anymore. I'm sick of it. It's stale, no matter what participants you put in. I'm glad they're trying to do something with the Guns, because Lord knows they need as much help as possible. And Jay and Juice are not a bad team. And I don't mean to knock the Guns, but the Guns need a lot more seasoning. A lot more seasoning. Jay basically wants to face Punk. Everybody's banned from ringside while Juice and Starks fight, which means Van had to leave. Ha 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 ha. And then Lexi is with Punk's side on the screen. He says, I don't need bodyguards because I don't need long-lost pals because I've got my friends. They're here till the end. And I could call you Lexi because Lexi, you will not call her Al. Him Al. Ah, fuck it. I'm tired. I don't care. Starks and Juice had a match that was fine. I've seen these guys interact enough, and I wasn't really that invested in the feud. Rick Knox is the referee. Shockingly, people didn't come down with goddamn chainsaws, motherfucking chainsaws. Hey, so come and get it. They took it seriously. Starks got his knee focused on. This is, unfortunately, it's the second match, like within an hour that we had knee focus. And that's fine. I don't mind the body part working, but this felt a little samey to me. And Starks kept coming back, but, Juice would stop him. Eventually, Starks did have some more offense, but got the cloverleaf locked on him, that is. A roll-up for two, and then we got more roll-ups, and then we eventually got a spear by Juice. It looked like Juice might get the victory, but no, roll-up 1, 2, 3. Starks gets the victory. Out of nowhere, Cinderella. Okay, it was what it was. And then Bullet Club, they're going to come down and attack. And then CMFTR come down. And hooray! We're going to get more stuff with this. I mean, the first two main events of Collision have been pretty good. So, it is what it is. Spears wants a shot at Christian Cage and Luchasaurus for the TNT Championship. Then Statlander took on Lady Frost. Both women look good. Both women are athletic. It's a TBS Championship match. Didn't click. I'm sorry. It wasn't awful. It just didn't click. I sort of zoned. I even went back and rewatched this during a couple commercial breaks, and I still was zoning. I haven't been really given much of a reason to care. Though Lady Frost has improved. She's very athletic, and Kris Statlander has a great look and is doing the best she can with this TBS Championship reign. Tombstone 1, 2, 3. And then Andrade, El Oli Olio, is on the screen. He wants his mask. House of Black show up and basically say, patience, all in due time. Maybe it's like Only Time from Enya. Boy, that's a deep cut. Any Enya fans in the audience? And then, mixed reaction for Punk when he comes out on commentary. Strong versus Joe. Look out. Owen Hart first round match. And I say look out for this one because this one was hard hitting. And Punk was on commentary taking this seriously. Adding a lot of refreshing stuff to commentary as far as a wrestler being on commentary. Take notes, Chris Jericho. You could actually learn to be serious and not a January 6th protector with your stupid twat wife. It's Ring of Honor Reborn, and Strong has never beaten Samoa Joe, and he still hasn't because Samoa Joe won this. But Strong kept having to fight to eventually hit the backbreaker, that is, he did. Joe just having a blast here with some chops, some strikes. Joe can still move really well, but I gotta say, Joe, Punk, they're probably going to be done by 2025. I would be very amazed if they keep wrestling with the hard style, the injuries, and all the stuff they've had going, and the mileage, and the fact they're going to be in their mid-40s by that point. But let's enjoy them while they're here. At one point, there was an Olympic slam by Strong to a pop. Good stuff. And then Strong got beaten down, and the Coquina clutch locked on, and he passes out. And then it looks like Joe and Punk are going to have a confrontation. And then, while security's kind of trying to keep them separated, hey, Joe just hits that wine waylay slam, that spike just right into, that kind of pseudo spike slam that he hits. and he just destroys Strong, just beats him right into a chair. And then they do a stretcher job while Adam Cole, checks out Strong. How are you doing, buddy? And if you close your eyes while Strong was moaning in pain, it would have taken on a whole different meaning. The Messiah of the backbreaker. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Because if I have to think of this stuff, and so do all of you people. Stretcher job, and that closes the show. That is it for Collision. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, please. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.